I want to make this video now before Avatar The Last Airbender comes out, because I like to say stuff before it happens, or in Spanish we say it's easier with the next day newspaper. Makes more sense in Spanish. And of course, English is my second language, so if you don't like my vocab, I'm sorry. But okay, so adapting something from an original IP, it's a really difficult thing to do, because if you're adapting an original IP, it's because somebody likes that IP, and usually the people who likes that IP like the thing as they are. So making many changes could be risky, dangerous, or sometimes even dumb. I could make another video about why I think Hollywood still keeps trying to adapt stuff, but I don't want to focus on that. Just a little brief. I do think that the problem with Hollywood is Hollywood wants to make money, but they don't want to take big risks. I mean, they always go safe. If social media was more prone to conservative ideas, Hollywood will be very conservative. But because social media is more prone to liberal ideas, Hollywood tries to be liberal, because they try to please as much as they can in order to make money. Does it work? I don't know. Hasn't been working lately. I think they misread the situation. But what I'm trying to say is, they will not take risks. Let's say there is an original show, an original idea about a warrior who is a female and she has certain ideas or whatever, and it could be a really good show on paper for a new idea. Hollywood will not risk it, so they will take an original IP, they will make an adaptation, and they will plant that story on that show. For example, the latest Willow. It had nothing to do with the original Willow. It could be a complete new story about new people, and probably would have done better, because you could have tried to go on that side instead of making Willow fans go mad. So let's go back to Avatar The Last Airbender. And I want to use One Piece as an example, the latest One Piece adaptation. I'm a huge One Piece fan. I've been following the anime for 20 years, the manga, everything. In my opinion, the manga is perfect. Oda is perfect. The storytelling on the manga, it's pure gold. But the anime has real issues with pacing. And as a fan, I'm the first one to acknowledge the pacing is horrible. So when they want to bring the live adaptation, I'm scared. I know Netflix already ruined Death Note, Bleach, Full Metal Alchemist, Cowboy Bebop, so many others. I'm scared. But they did a pretty good job. Even they fixed the pacing. Wow. Now, what can we say about the One Piece live adaptation is that Oda, the creator of One Piece, was always on top of everything. He didn't relinquish rights. He was there in the room. He was making decisions. He was saying yes and he was saying no. He didn't allow Netflix to do anything weird with the story. So there were some changes, yes. There were like a little tweaks, yes, but nothing that will affect the original story. And that was Oda. Now let's go with another example. The Witcher. The Witcher has a really big lore. Video games, books, several. You have fans that are very committed to that lore. And one of the biggest fans happens to be one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, and he wanted to be the Witcher, Geralt of Rivia. And then you got Henry Cavill on the show. Amazing, right? Well, Hollywood wanted to push some ideas, some original ideas. And again, if you want to make an original show with an original idea about certain things, they could make it and they could try it. But because they need to make sure that people will tune in, they go and they take an original IP. And by season 3, they already have destroyed The Witcher. Some people will say that Henry Cavill was exaggerating too much. Some people have said that Henry Cavill was difficult to work with. What do you want the guy to do? He's a fan and you're ruining the show. It's nothing like the books, nothing like the video games. What do you want the guy to do? And that brings me to the Avatar The Last Airbender. Up to 1 month ago, I was very excited. I really wanted to see the show. I was like, when they showed the casting and the first photos and everything, I was like, yes, he could. And after the One Piece adaptation, I was like, yes. But then the red flag started to show up. Like the original showrunners left the show. That's not good. Now, what is the problem with Avatar adapting Avatar The Last Airbender? The movie Avatar, the two movies, gross over $1 billion. They were huge movie success in ticket selling. But it's funny that when you say Avatar, most of the people will always think in the Last Airbender, because that show was a landmark for a lot of people. James Cameron made two movies that grossed over $1 billion, and still when somebody says Avatar, nobody thinks about the blue people. They think about the Airbender monk, Sokka, Katara. They think about those guys. It's amazing. And I'm not the only one. I know that a lot of people think the same way. Avatar The Last Bender was the perfect show. Perfection from beginning to end. Every character arc, every decision they made, that show was perfection, which brings so much pressure to do a live adaptation. Honestly, if this new show would take everything and just do the same, probably some people will accuse them of not being original or trying to do something new, but also probably nobody would complain because the show was perfect. But no, they made changes. And during the last month, they talk about those changes. And now I'm so extremely nervous. If those changes work and the show is great, I will be the first to acknowledge, because I love Avatar The Last Airbender. Really, if the show feels better because of the changes, I will be the first one. But my faith is not that big. I mean, the Sokka comments, the Katara comments, the Aang comments, the Game of Thrones thing. Now they brought this clip with Azula, May, and no. I mean, I think they. I don't. Please, I don't want to sound bad. I think they're overdressed, and by overdressed, I mean that what should be regular clothes for them, because if you watch the show, it was regular clothes for them. It were not like armor. They look like they're wearing armors in a really bad CGI screen. Ty Lee should supposed to be like this acrobatic girl who jumps everywhere, and she looks like she's like surrounded by an armor. How is she gonna jump everywhere if she's wearing what looks like an armor? So I am a little nervous. I'm extremely nervous. I don't know how I'm gonna react. I hope the show goes well. I really hope. I don't want to be mad or something. But this last month, they've been really getting into my nerves. I don't know. What can we do but just have faith? And if the show is bad, we can all cry together in Twitter, because I refuse to call it X.